Older women who are over the age of 45 who never live for themselves are the worst type of women.
Let me just start by saying that not all women over the age of 45 are bitter. There are some gorgeous women over 45 who don't hate on younger women. However, there are some older women who are dealing with life's accumulation of disappointments and unchecked boxes. And women are always competing, ladies, for beauty, for attention, for validation. It's not rational, it's just how women are wired. There are more women than men in this world, and it's just the way the world is. But with that being said, a lot of older women are bitter, mentally unstable, have nasty attitudes, especially in the workplace. Because this is a place where these older women can flex power and authority.
Hey y'all, what's up? So I know that yesterday I forgot to finish one of my thoughts in my video, which was one of my points was just like how when I first started my channel and how I understand how I took some of my loved ones here for granted, and obviously, you know, after being gone for 2 years and coming back and not doing that. And even though, you know, when I started my channel 2016, so that's going to be 7 years ago, and even though I recently came back you know, in time for the holidays and everything like that, after being out of state for 2 years, it's like I reflected on that and I realized now just like how much support I always did have and how it was taken for granted only because I was processing so much at that time, and just forgiving myself for that and just, you know, reflecting and growing from it and just being grateful for it, right? And if you guys have not seen that video from yesterday, I can just go ahead and link a card here. And like I said, I'm going to just be doing like thought blurbs and everything on my channel for quite a while, like for the duration. And as I pretty much just phase my overall channel and basis out of girl world and just more into what I want to do and what I like and what excites me and motivates me and inspires me. I just want to just keep the flow going, right? Now, like I said, I'll react here and there, but it will never be nearly as often, especially not every day, especially not like twice in the same day. I can't. And what's inspired a lot of that is just literally me being so active and so busy in my real life and really enjoying time with my loved ones. And just, it's like by the time I see something, I'm like, damn, all this happened. And I'm just like, I'll try to catch up and I'm just like, what? Like, and it's like, I personally don't care anymore. And I feel like when you outgrow people and things and you stop caring, like genuinely, like you cannot feel the care is not there. That's a sign you need to listen to that. Because that is your intuition, that is your thought process, that is your inner growth, trying to speak to you to look elsewhere and focus on what makes you happy and brings you joy or whatever the excitement is. I have been wanting to talk about this next topic, which you guys see the title, jealous women over the age of 45, and just how completely destructive they can be and how it can be a bit of a phenomenon, but whatever, because let me tell you some things, child. I have been wanting to talk about it ever since, honestly, like ever since I really took a step back. And this for me was when I started rebuttaling a lot of the people who, you know, hate me and, you know, were spewing so much negativity and stuff at me and just like all this like real bitterness and whatever. It took me forever to realize that they were jealous. It literally took me forever. This is what I mean when I say that in regards to like the smear campaign that was targeted against me and lashed out and all that, whatever. This is exactly why I say I wish I would have said and handled some things differently, because if I knew then what I knew now, I would have just ate them up in a few videos, a few streams, it would have been done. Because a big part of the issue was I did not know who these people were. The people who hate me and spew negativity at me and who have literally worked hard to try and smear my name or whatever. And the thing about it is, pay attention to where it's coming from, right? Like they say, like, you know, you would never take advice from someone who's not doing better than you in life. You would never, you know, take advice from someone who is not going where you want to go. You just wouldn't. You also need to be very careful if you ever endure a smear campaign online, or maybe you deal with a really crazy, sick hate group online that's targeting you, has whole discords like dedicated to you or stuff like that. I do urge looking into who those people are if you can, if you're able. If you feel like, you know, you've spent too much time on it and you want to just move away from it, fine, right? Because I get that. Look into who they are. Because when I took a step back and I started trying to really analyze who my haters were, because I had several. Some of them were old haters, but some of them were very new and loud. And one of the oddest things about that smear campaign was the majority, except for one who, you know, even though that person's younger than me, there's nothing that she's doing that I would ever want to emulate in my life. So it just falls on deaf ears like everything else. But what I thought was so strange was how the majority of the people who participated actively, heavily in my hate campaign were 40 plus. If not super late 30s, about to be 40s. And that to me was weird. Okay, you wanna know what else I thought was weird? When I looked into these people and I found out that some of them have rap sheets, their kids have rap sheets, they don't have no teeth, they don't. They come from, you know, the trap house, the crack house, this house, that house. All they've ever known is like Bucktown, Midwest, Indiana somewhere, and they've never really lived in high metropolitan areas, let alone never went to college. I have 2 degrees. And like when I really took a step back and I found out who these people were verbatim, like bit by bit, I was like, this is so odd to me. I'm like, and I know I used to make jokes. I'm like, I got the retirement home coming at me. Because like, what the hell? I mean, some of these people range in age from 40, 45 up to like their 50s, mid 50s, almost 60. Okay. And I'm not talking about, DC. I actually appreciate DC's content. In my opinion, I feel like DC makes a lot of very valid points, and she's, you know, she can be easy listening if you just put her on in the background, but if you really pay attention to what she's saying and you think about it and then you just, you know, really understand what she's saying, there's a lot to learn there. And I am all for learning and insight. You can learn from some of everybody, even if you don't necessarily like a person, but that's why this toxic black and white thinking, I don't like this, I don't like that, so I'm not even gonna pay attention to them, I'm not gonna listen to them. Like, go and find out for yourself if that's what your tea is, right? So I'm not talking about DC at all. And to be honest, when me and DC had our back and forth, and I tell her this often, and I would tell her when me and her would DM, is how I appreciated that we had a little back and forth, whatever, and we both like left it there. Like, yeah, a little shade thrown here and there, a little BS thrown here and there, but nothing to where it was like going on for years and days and day. Like, and I think that's because we both just didn't care enough. And honestly, when it comes to violation, she never did anything or said anything about me that was too horrible. It honestly hasn't been anything that I haven't heard before. And when I did, make straight and throw shade at her, I'm sure it wasn't the first time she's heard, what I said. And in turn, some of our ideas have changed and our opinions about each other have changed. And so it's just like bygones. And that's how you literally just and move forward. I am talking about the jealous, bitter women who are 40, 45 plus, who get off on targeting younger women like myself, trying to make a mockery out of women like myself. And I swear there are certain things that I just wish I would have known sooner, because a lot of times, like I said, when you're under attack and when you have somebody trying to smear you and target you, a lot of times, yes, we want to rebuttal, we want to defend ourselves, we want to do all of these things, right? Sometimes I swear it is best to sit back and pay attention and understand who it's coming from, not exactly what they're saying, because that's when you're going to see the projection. The same people who said that I was going to have a Crisis 2 stream and be on the street and be in homeless shelters actually know all about getting evicted, have been in homeless shelters themselves. I've never been in a shelter, okay? A part of me was like, okay, maybe I might have to go there. But even when I was actively homeless here in Chicago, when I lost everything in 2016, I was able to stay with friends. And so I was like couch hopping. So some people consider couch hopping homelessness and some people don't. I do, because to me, it's like you don't have anything to your name, right? Right? So that's just what I thought. And then people have different opinions of it. But the same people who were like, she's going to have a Crisis 2 stream, she's going to do this and this and this and this in her life, the same people who have multiple evictions, bankruptcies on their record, rap sheets, no teeth, whole family line is messed up, to the point to where I was like, and yes, obviously, when I found out like who these people were, it was hilarious to me. I'm like, oh, now I know why they mad. But then it was like, okay, it's like, I know why they mad. And I clapped back and I said what I said, whatever. But as I continue to move forward, it's just like, oh, now I know why they're mad. And that's why I'm just like, yikes. And I know I played the clip in the beginning of this video, but on TikTok, I really appreciate, TikTok and just like, other platforms where people speak about the same things. Because it's like, yes, like this is exactly how I feel. Yes, because the thing is, those projections do indeed come from unchecked boxes. These are women who unfortunately never lived for themselves. And because they never lived for themselves, they try to armor themselves as like some type of a martyr. Well, I had kids early. My baby daddy left. My baby daddy went to jail. My baby daddy did all this. My baby daddy has oxygen up his nose and can't hardly live or breathe for nothing. And And oh, this person was a raging alcoholic. And so it's like they armor themselves as if they are so strong in that. But then it's like when you want to look at their actual life credentials, there is nothing more there than being a mom, which, kudos, whatever. I'm not a mother yet, but that's the thing. If I was a mother, I would not be carrying myself on the internet the way some of these women do. Because what will you do when your kids grow up and find out, this is what you did. You wanted to dox people. You wanted to target people for a living. You wanted to do all this. What are you doing for your name? And then that's when the whole conversation of this is all they have. And that is why I think, and not just, the women over 45, but that's another reason why I think that, when I was heavily active in Girl World and, my channel was actively growing and all of that, doing the reactions and all that, I think that's another reason why, even aside from the Crisis stream, even before, because I've always been a target in that little bullshit community, but that is because I've had other opportunities. I've had different interests, whatever, that they did not have. I've been one of the most sponsored, out of that community than almost any other reactor. There's only one other one who I think he's also well sponsored, which honestly, kudos. But it's because this is the most traction and attention they've gained online. This is the most engagement. They view high views, high subscriber count as support, as genuine support. They base their identities and their lives in it. And that's why some of the smear campaigns, the people who get targeted and all this, that's why it's so vicious, is because not only is this a part of their income, but this is their livelihood. And they can't afford to maybe post a Bath and Body Works video and get like 400, 500 views, right? They can't afford it. They can't afford to, do Amazon content and get a couple hundred views and still get paid. They can't afford it. That's why they play the game of life or death so hard. And that's why they will view you as competition. Like, one of the older women in this community, because she came from the drama community and was a very close friend of that woman, MFW, who's just a mess. I saw how that woman left the drama community because I was always aware of it, not that active then, but I saw her try to change up the content, do girl roll reactions, whatever. But then I saw like this desperation to be like head bitch, because what she started doing after being in Girl World was targeting a lot of other female creators. I am not the first and I won't be the last, and that's the truth. It's very easy for this woman to become threatened. It's very easy for her to feel inferior. It's very easy for her to, lose control of her emotions and spiral and spew a bunch of vitriol to her audience so her audience can go and attack whoever she's talking about, because with as much traction as they've gained off of Chantal, she likes weaponizing her audience to mess with Chantal, right? And look up where Chantal's apartment is, or call wherever she's staying at, and things like that. Like, that's that woman's audience. And there are other few audiences that harbor that mess, but this is why I say, like, I am so grateful not only to be home, but have taken a step back and to really see people for who and what they are as a whole. Because another thing that I've noticed are these people, they won't change. They're stuck. They're not only stuck in their ways, their mindsets, but they have a lot of unchecked boxes, a lot of instability, very emotionally unstable. It takes 2 seconds to trigger them and have them go on Twitter rants for days, whatever. Can't live without Twitter, can't live without, doing a random stream or whatever, and going off, because what you're triggering and what's going on is you are triggering some level of an insecurity inside of them. And when I tell you, it took me literally until recently, maybe the last couple months, to really realize this and see it for what it is, to where, once again, it doesn't bother me anymore if I see them talk about me or whatever. First of all, there's a huge reason as far as why I'm no longer naming names and redirecting my channel, and that will be found out soon enough. Don't care what people think, how they feel, what they believe. I'm secure in myself. I don't need validation outside of myself, because I know and I see what's going on. But it is the truth. And all I really want to say is, do not be like that. If you are in my audience and you are a free spirit and you've watched me and you've supported me, do not squander your life away to where you become resentful of a younger person who is just literally on their own path. I was gonna say a younger person doing better than you, but like, this is why jealousy is so crazy, because it doesn't even matter what you have, what you don't have. Because I'm not really even sure what it is specifically that these women are jealous of about me, but I just know that there's always been a focus on me. And I knew that one of the things that people really disliked about me was the fact that I will curse you out, I will blast you, and I will keep it pushing like you're nothing, because how dare you? I don't really have the energy or the time for that now, because my life, I don't resonate with a lot of the BS. I've said what I've said. Like I said, I got everything that I wanted. And so when you're in a happier, healthier place, some of this will not only seem like nonsense or like a waste of time, but a lot of it you're going to start seeing through. And that's why, like, when I started getting the vibes and the feelings of not caring anymore, I checked out. And I wanted to spend time with myself to see what was that feeling telling me? Why don't I react or respond to this? I even, have texted like my bestie Alex, like when me and her do text and we do catch up, I told her, I said, girl, if it ain't this, and this, I ain't trying to hear about it. Okay. Which is, important stuff. But, as far as, who posted what stream, who did this and who did that, don't care. And that's the thing is, and it's not saying that, Alex is, always blowing up my phone or something like that, but it was just me just, telling her like where I'm at pretty much. And as the beautiful friend she is, she totally understood, she saw it, and she feels the same. That's how you know you're on the same level as somebody, because friends, as you grow and change, you are either going to grow and change together, or you're going to stay stuck doing the same old things that you've been doing, and you might outgrow one another. But I am so grateful to have that woman as a friend of mine. By the end of this year, it'll be like 3 years. So that's amazing, right? Look, do not be like that. What I learned most about the jealous women and people who are 40 plus, who continuously try to mock, ridicule, target me, as I literally, like, some of it I see, some of it I don't. I haven't seen anything within the last month. I know that the campaign about me was deleted. So I what you do that for? My shit's still here. So I don't know. Whatever, but I could literally never, be in my 40s, especially as a professional person, being college educated and, being like more actual career focused and just real life focused. I could never. And also, like, I don't understand people who don't log on to the internet and want to participate more in things that actually, like, bring them joy or make them happy or radiate some levels of positivity for them. I do not relate to people who literally are coming on the internet every day to see, how can I try to bother this person? You have to be a very bothered bitch to try to bother a bitch that's never bothered you and not bothering you. Like, even if that person has taken off for a month and hasn't said or done anything and just minded their business, take that as a hint. But some people don't, because they're stuck. And the thing is, they don't know what else to do, because once again, this is all they have. They don't know how to grow and change. They can't afford to upload content that would get steady lower views, because that is how make or break their channel is to them. And like I've said before, the YouTube platform is so volatile and just so damn whatever. Like, you would never want to put all your eggs in this YouTube basket. That's why, like, whenever I've been sponsored, like, I am so grateful to them, and I am so grateful to the sponsors that I've had that give me that creative freedom, like Nail Reserve, me making my whole ad, like the creative control over my own ads and stuff like that. And just doing what I want to do, because there is so much flexibility that comes with that, because that is actually more, guaranteed than even YouTube is. Because the thing is, people just lose their channels for random reasons. It is a very sad life especially to be a parent. And I can only imagine, I don't understand the fulfillment of coming onto this website day in, day out with the intentions to target someone, try to bother them, get their audience riled up and angry, and spew even more negativity in vast ways. I don't get it. I don't get it. Genuinely, I don't understand. Because I could literally never. I mean, I'm only 33. I mean, I still have 7 years to even be where they're at in life. And the thing is, in 7 years, they'll be 50, 60. And can you imagine being of that age and coming on the internet and spewing vitriol day in, day out, and not having a platform of growth and various interests and things that just make you happy? The internet should not be this serious for some people. I get it if it's your income or whatever, but try to diversify yourself. I mean, if it's stressing you out, whatever, it's really not worth it There is so much more to do in this world, and life is so much more vast and beautiful and complex, and there are so many things to learn. Like, don't you want to share actual knowledge? And that's the thing too, like even about Girl World, which is another reason why I'm phasing out. And I'll just tap in. You can probably consider me like, as far as coverage, like John, how he does it once a month, right? But Girl World also is insane, literally, by definition. Doing the same thing, expecting different results. And I know some of those creators, especially reaction channels, have gotten into routine. And because YouTube is a big part of their income, this is just, it's clocking in for them. So they're not thinking. And I know this because I used to be the same way. I used to literally like not think about it. I just come in, whatever, cover, dip, blah, 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 blah. And it is kind of mindless because you just view it as, you know, it's just another day. But if Chantal hasn't changed for however long she's been on the platform, if Amber has not progressed, changed, made any betterments to her life, honestly, ever since she's been on the platform, it's been almost 10 years, they won't change. They don't want to listen to reaction channels. They don't care. Yes, it's interesting to hear from people like Destiny, even Pete's, you know, Dana and whoever else we've heard from. Yes, it's definitely interesting to get a different person's take, especially if they're trying to build a platform for themselves. But every day, all day, live and breathe the same bullshit, hoping something else or different will happen, that is insanity. Especially when life is so much greater than that. I don't get it. And you know what? I don't have to. I don't have to understand it. I don't have to even like it or engage, right? I'd rather talk more about, you know, perfumes and fragrances I bought, or do thought blurbs like this and just kind of vibe, because I don't feel stress. I don't feel, I don't feel that. Because I see a lot of it for what it is. And when you really put your mind to it like that, and this is why forgiveness is really interesting, and being able to really make peace within. Like, you don't necessarily need closure from anyone. You can get it from within when you take the step back and you see people for the sad truth that they are. I cannot imagine what it could possibly be like to be a mother of 5, 4 of which the kids don't even speak to you or engage with you, and 1 who's already made you a grandparent, who's had their own traumatic past that you laugh at as a parent, and then to get joy in building a toxic platform where all you do is try to point out your perceived flaws in other people that you envy because you never achieved or accomplished or was able to, I don't even know what it is. They trigger something in you that bothers you, and you get joy in trying to, I guess, taunt and tear them down. It says more about you as a person. And when you really realize that, and when you stop engaging, and when you just, like for myself, I just honestly, like everything that I want has happened or is in the works or whatever, and we just go and wait and see. But to really forgive it and be like, you know what, that's you.
I have a serious subject to talk about. Some of y'all about to be hot with me. I think it is so disgusting how women who are old enough to be your mama, your grandmama, and your auntie are hella jealous. A lot of y'all want to go back in time. Some of y'all are aunties now. Y'all want to go back in time to them Freaknik days. And you some of y'all grandmamas want to go back in time to back in the 70s and the 60s and this and this and that. Sweetheart, them days dead. Some of y'all did not make great decisions coming up, And so a lot of y'all, not all of y'all, but a lot of y'all envy the youth because of the decisions they're making for themselves to better themselves in their lives. And some of you all are just downright insecure because you don't love yourself. And it's hard for you to watch other women who are younger than you love on themselves and know their worth. Once again, not all of y'all, but there's a lot of y'all because I've dealt with this since I was a teen. I've had women who are older than me, I'm so serious, who literally be trying to beef with me, child. Like, beef with me. Child, you damn near 80. I'm not about to sit up here and beef with no woman who out here smelling like mothballs and white diamonds. You old enough to be my grandmama. Like, what? Girl, like, are you serious, lady? Child, I had women who were older than me hot when I was a teenager, child. I'm talking about pissed off. In my 20s, it was the same thing. I'll never forget, I had this manager. She could not stand me. Like, she hated me with a passion. Never bothered nobody. I always came in to do my work. I'm a tourist, y'all. If you a tourist, you know, you know. We don't bother nobody unless somebody be fucking with us, period. She would always keep my name in her mouth. Always. But every time her child would call her and needed some money for college and this and this and that, she never had the money to give her child. Never had the money. Never had the money to give her child money for school, but she always had the time to keep up shit at work. It's not only managers and co-workers. The sad part is, it be your damn family too. Y'all, a lot of y'all be throwing y'all insecurities on people who in their 20s, their 30s, or even their early 40s because of the decisions you made and you not happy with your life. And then when people tell you, oh, you too old to be acting like this, or you too old to be doing this and this and that, you get mad. For what? They're right. You are too old to be acting like that. Why are you beefing with somebody who's old enough to be your child? Or who's old enough to be your grandbaby? And then y'all wonder why the youth so afraid about becoming older. Yo bitter ass.
Because I know one thing. If I even live to be 46, right? That's 13 years. Who knows if I'll even still be around? None of us live forever. Life is short. I will be damned if I am 46 and I come on here and I'm a parent and I'm over here talking about maybe a 30-year-old TikToker who is in need and I want to base my platform around her, or maybe other people who are maybe around her age and stuff like that, and just, you know, try and dox them, harass them because I'm that bothered. And because I feel like I'm good at that and I know how to do it. If that's all you're good at in life, you have a very sad life. If the only thing you're good at in life is trying to get negative reactions out of people and negative engagement out of people because I guess you can't radiate enough positivity for engagement on your own independently, that has to be miserable. That has to, and this is the thing that makes me reflect, is it has to be more miserable than I have ever been in life. And I just overcame one of the most intense dark challenges in my life, which was living alone and stayed by myself after everything completely flipped and I had to rebuild from there. You have to be more miserable than that. Can't relate. Don't be like that. Do what makes you happy. Do what brings you joy. Life is too short to try and thrive on negativity, because the thing is, the negativity, it will never get you anywhere in the long run. It just won't. It doesn't. It can't. That is not the law of the universe. You are what you put out. Okay? Be careful and don't be like that. And I hope when the free spirits turn 45, whatever the hell plus, y'all live more peaceful lives than this, because child, please, I cannot imagine. Like these are the things that I've thought about. This is the stuff that's been on my mind as I've taken a setback and as I've reflected and grown. This is where my mind has been. Wish you the best.